On the 10th of July 1960, Ariel Castro was born in Puerto Rico and was known to be a kidnapper who kidnapped 3 girls in Cleveland, Ohio between 2002 to 2004 and kept them hostage for a decade in his house, which was located in Seymour Avenue. It all started when he was in an abusive relationship with his wife Grimelda Figueroa. The relationship was abusive to the point where he broke her nose, dislocating her shoulder twice and forming a blood clot on her brain after beating her so bad. His wife left him in the mid-90s and she got custody for her children. However, the nightmare began in the early 2000s. On August 23, 2002, Ariel Castro kidnapped his first victim, Michelle Knight, who was 21 years old at that time. She was on her way to the social services appointment to gain custody of her young son. Michelle asked so many locals to help her find the building, but no one guided her to the right path. And that's when she noticed Ariel Castro pulling up next to her. Ariel offered her a ride back home, and Michelle knew Ariel's daughter, and agreed to take the ride with Ariel. Ariel drove in the wrong direction, claiming he had puppies at his house for her son. Michelle went inside his house, walked up to the stairs, and went inside the room, and Ariel shut the door behind her. Michelle was chained up to a wall in a dark room, and Ariel would abuse and rape her constantly. Michelle had at least 5 pregnancies from Ariel, and he would physically abuse her every single time he found out she was pregnant to cause a miscarriage. Ariel's next victim was a girl named Amanda Berry, who was 16 at the time of her disappearance on April 21, 2003. Amanda was leaving her Burger King shift and she was looking for a ride back home. And that's when Ariel Castro pulled up and asked her if she needed a ride back home. And Amanda had known one of Ariel's daughters and she agreed to go with him. While in the car, Ariel asked Amanda if she wanted to hang out with his daughter at his place, since Amanda hasn't seen Ariel's daughter for a long time. So Amanda agreed and they drove to Ariel's house. When they entered the house, the bathroom door was closed and the water was running from the shower. Ariel told Amanda that his daughter was taking a shower. However, Ariel pushed Amanda into a closet and started raping her. Afterwards, he chained up Amanda to a wall and kept her in a different room. On April 2, 2004, Ariel decided that he needed to kidnap another girl, and that girl was Gina DeJesus, who was 14 at the time, Ariel's last victim too. Gina was on the phone with her mom to let her know that she was going to sleep over at a friend's house, but her mom denied it. So Gina was walking back home and Ariel spotted her, and just like the other victims, Gina knew Ariel's daughter. So Ariel pulled her up and asked her if she wanted a ride home, but instead they went to his place and chained her up to a wall in a different room too. The house of Ariel Castro was designed to have 4 bedrooms, and in which 3 bedrooms were occupied by his victims. At this stage, Ariel was constantly raping and abusing the 3 girls every single day on a daily basis. The girls would shower once a week, they were fed only 1 meal a day, and they used plastic buckets as toilets. Ariel Castro even liked playing mind games with his victims. He would sometimes leave the door open to see if his victims would escape, and if they did, he would punish the girls by beating them. On December 6, 2006, Amanda was pregnant with her child and went into labor. Ariel told Michelle Knight to assist Amanda in the birth of her child, which took place on a plastic swimming pool. He even threatened to kill Michelle if the baby did not survive, but luckily the baby survived and the baby was called as Jocelyn. Jocelyn was born in captivity, so she didn't go to school, and Amanda got advantage by homeschooling her daughter by teaching her how to read and write. As Jocelyn was growing up, she would ask her father Ariel why is mom in chains, and Ariel couldn't tell her why, so he would let Amanda out of her chains sometimes to play with Jocelyn. But everything changed on May 6, 2013. When Amanda was with her daughter asked Amanda, "Where's Dad? Dad's car is not in the driveway." So Amanda looked and noticed that Ariel was gone. So Amanda told herself, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it right now. So she went to the front door, which was unlocked but wired with an alarm. She was able to stick her arm out through the padlocked storm door behind it and began screaming for help. She was able to flag down a guy walking down the street. His name was Charles Ramsey. Charles helped Amanda to break down the door, and Ramsey called 911. And Amanda told the police that she has been kidnapped for 10 years and told the police her exact location. Police immediately arrived to the scene and they go in and rescue Michelle and Gina. Soon after, Ariel Castro arrived and arrested them too. In court, Ariel Castro stated that he was not evil and he was sick because he had a sex addiction. In addition, he claimed that the crimes were not nearly as bad as they sounded. Ariel Castro was charged with 3 counts of kidnapping and 3 counts of rape. He pleaded guilty to 937 counts of rape, kidnapping, and aggravated murder as a part of a plea bargain. He was sentenced to life plus 1,000 years in prison without the possibility of parole. 1 month into his sentence, Ariel Castro committed suicide after hanging himself with bed sheets in his prison cell. Ariel Castro was 53 years old.